So in this video, I'm going to talk about membrane lipids and the three types of lipids that make up the plasma membrane. And so 98% of the plasma membrane of the cell are lipids. And so the membrane is somewhat fluid-like. So it's important to remember that. And let's see a diagram. So down here is a pretty good diagram. So first off, we'll talk about phospholipids. Phospholipids. And these make up 75% of the membrane lipids. And so essentially you could see them down there. It essentially looks like one of these heads with two tails. And so they have a hydrophilic head, phosphate head. The heads are made of phosphate. And they are always on the outside. And so it's a bilayer, as you can see down here. And so the hydrophilic heads are the little orange balls. And the hydrophobic tails are in the middle, so all of this yellow stuff in there, the tails. And so that's in order for it to avoid water because it doesn't like water. So let me get rid of some of this. And so next we'll talk about cholesterol. And so cholesterol makes up 20% of membrane lipids. And it essentially can stiffen the membrane, stiffen and support membrane. And so they essentially help the cell membrane maintain its fluidity. And so down here in the diagram, you can see those things, the little chain of orange balls. And so finally, we'll talk about glycolipids. So glycolipids make up the remaining 5% of the membrane lipids. So 5% of membrane lipids. And so what they are, they're essentially phospholipids. So imagine a phospholipid with a short carbohydrate chain attached to it. So pretend the orange thing is a short carb chain. And so it helps make up the glycocalyx, which you can kind of imagine as an outer surrounding to the cell. It's like a sugar kind of layer that allows for cell recognition. It's just a carb coating. So a glycocalyx is a carb coating on the cell surface. And so those are the three different types of lipids that make up the plasma membrane. And remember, most of the plasma membrane is made up of lipids, but there are also proteins in there, which we'll talk about in the next video. As you can see, those blue things are proteins and protein channels and all that stuff. And so once again, if you found this video helpful, please like it and share it with your friends.